CompTIA Tech Plus Complete Training Course. Exam Objective 2.4. Given a scenario, install and configure common peripheral devices. Displays. A display is a peripheral output device that converts digital data into visual images we can see and interact with. Some of the most common types of displays include computer monitors, which are typically connected to desktop computers. Built-in screens, like those found in laptops, tablets, and smartphones. Projectors, which cast images onto a surface, usually a screen or wall, for large-scale viewing. And smart TVs, which combine traditional television functions with internet connectivity and app support. When connecting a display device, we are going to need a graphic device interface. Luckily, we have multiple options available. For older display devices, we have VGA and DVI, and for newer display devices, we have HDMI and DisplayPort. Many of today's displays come with touchscreen capabilities. A touchscreen acts as an alternative to a mouse and/or keyboard. With a touchscreen, a user can interact directly with the display through a series of touches or hand gestures in order to input data. When configuring your display, or displays, in Windows 11, you'll be using the Windows Settings tool. Start by opening Settings, then navigate to System, and select Display. From here, you can manage a variety of display-related settings, including scaling options, which control the size of text, apps, and other items on your screen. Display resolution, which determines how sharp and detailed your display looks. Display orientation, which lets you rotate the screen to landscape or portrait mode. And how your device uses multiple displays, whether you want to duplicate your screen, extend your desktop across monitors, or show content on only one screen. Now, let's take a closer look at each of these settings. First up, we have scaling options. This setting controls how large text, apps, and other items appear on your screen. If things look too small to read, or maybe way too big, you can adjust the scaling percentage to better fit your needs. This is especially helpful on high-resolution screens or smaller displays like laptops. It can also make a computer display much easier to see and use for individuals who are visually impaired, helping to improve overall accessibility. Next, we have display resolution. Display resolution is a configuration option that adjusts the number of pixels displayed on a screen, thus determining the level of detail and clarity in the visual content displayed. A pixel can be thought of as a single dot of color. The more dots of color included in a fixed area, the more detail we can achieve. So to understand a resolution, we need to build upon this idea of pixels. Looking at the list of display resolutions to my left, we see the first resolution on the list is 1920 by 1080. The 1920 is the number of pixels or dots of color that a display will have extending from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. Thinking of this in a grid or table format, the 1920 would be the number of pixel columns defining the width of the screen in pixels. The 1080 would then be the number of pixels or dots of color that a display will have extending from the top to the bottom of the screen. Once again, thinking of this in a grid or table format, the 1080 would be the number of pixel rows defining the height of the screen in pixels. Put these two numbers together, 1920 by 1080, and you have an overall display resolution defining the width and height in pixel counts. If you multiply the two numbers together, you will also get the total number of color pixels displayed on the screen. So I hope you are a curious learner, and you are now wondering why the word recommended is displayed next to 1920 by 1080. Well, that is a great question. Thank you for bringing it up. For every display, a manufacturer has designed their device to perform optimally at a specific resolution. Even though you can select from many different display resolutions in order to suit your needs, you will always see the word recommended next to the intended resolution for that display. The recommended resolution is also called the native resolution. Moving on, we have display orientation. This setting adjusts the direction or alignment in which content is displayed on a screen. It determines whether the content is displayed in a portrait orientation, meaning vertically, or landscape orientation, meaning horizontally. And finally, to wrap up this exam topic, we will discuss the 3 common configuration options for multiple displays. First, the duplicate option mirrors the same content on all connected displays. This is ideal for presentations or sharing information. Next, the Extend option allows a user to drag and arrange windows, applications, and content across multiple screens. This gives a user the flexibility to customize the arrangement, resolution, and orientation of each screen according to their individual needs. And last, there is also the option to display content on only one display at a time. This allows a user to view content on only the primary or PC display, or if desired, just the secondary display, even though two displays may be available. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more great content.